YakAngler here at Outdoor Retailer 2015. We're here at the NRS booth with Luke and Robert Field. They've got a whole new line of kayak fishing gear. Luke, tell us a bit about what you got this year, man.
Thanks, Adam. So as Adam mentioned, we're really looking into a new kayak fishing apparel line for 2015. Really coming up with some items that are going to be comfortable and useful for when you're out on the water in your kayak, or you can also use these for wet wading as well. So lots of applications for what we're using. Really what we're trying to focus on in this is the paddling specific items. We're building clothing and apparel that are made for paddling. So you'll notice on a lot of the items that we have this year, there'll be no seams in friction areas, really looking into making some cut lines in better ways, no tags on a lot of our items, really making paddling items before we're looking at the fishing items.
So I think that's the one thing that really stands out in this whole line, is that you guys are developing something for paddling first and then cater to the kayak fishing side.
Absolutely, because what really makes a fishing apparel piece, not much, but what really makes a paddling fishing piece is that exact, we need to have that ability to paddle comfortably, be out on the water, and be comfortable in a boat.
Awesome.
The wader that we're looking at is a great example, mainly just making sure that when you're seated in your kayak, it's not going to be uncomfortable and riding up on you. A lot of products that are out there right now really don't accommodate, kayak fishing very well.
So using Sir Robert here as our study, as our mannequin, walk us through real quick sort of a couple of the new items that we're talking about this year.
Sure, absolutely. What he's got really here is our kind of high-end wader that we're coming out with. Really specific to kayak fishing in a couple of regards. We've given a little bit more room in the knees and in the seat, so it is going to make it a little bit more comfortable for you when you're sitting in the kayak. If you guys have ever jumped in the truck with a pair of waders on, it's very uncomfortable. It's very hard to do a high step. And in something like this, it gives you the ability to have a little bit more room and make it a little bit more comfortable when you're seated in a kayak. Some of the biggest features that we've done have added the relief zipper to these, which really allows you to safely use the restroom, either out of your kayak or on shore, either way. The main thing for us that makes it kayak fishing specific is we don't want you to take your PFD off. You got to keep your PFD on at all times. It's the safest way to paddle. So if you're keeping that on, you can use the restroom without ever having to take your life jacket off, which really makes it a little bit safer overall. A couple other little features that we've added into this. We've actually added an integrated waist belt, which will really help keep that waist belt on there at all times. Oftentimes they get lost in the truck. You can't find your wading belt. Where did it go? And it's a nice thing to have for safety purposes.
So cold water application, you have one other cold water application, and that's a new pair of gloves. So tell us quickly about the glove.
Yeah, our new forecast glove is going to be a great item for folks that are looking for something just for those shoulder seasons and paddling in the wintertime. We basically got the fingers that will be removable on the index, middle finger, and thumb, give you a little bit more dexterity if you need to tie some knots, if you need to unhook a fish, whatever it may be that you got to do. It gives you a little bit more mobility with your hands, yet it still kind of gives you some warmth when you're out there in those colder times.
So those cover, I think, the two cold water applications we saw. You have a couple of warm weather, sunny applications.
Absolutely.
One is the glove that Robert's wearing, or the sleeve that Robert's wearing.
Yeah, and really, it's a nice thing in this industry nowadays. People are really conscious of, sun protection. I'm glad that we're moving this direction. We obviously have to watch out for the sun. So really, it's a big focus for us. So the sleeve is kind of a request that we got from many folks to come out with something that they could put on those really warm days when the sun's out. If they need to kind of shed them, take them off, they can. You get done fishing, you don't want to wear your long sleeve shirt, you can certainly just take these off, go do what you need to do, and go about your day.
You've also got a couple new pairs of UPF sun protected gloves.
Absolutely,
as well.
yeah, and it's actually the same material that we're using on the sleeve. So we've got the nice honeycomb pattern on these. It's a UPF 50 rating, so you're getting great sun protection. And on the gloves, we're actually doing two different versions. So we'll do one that's a little bit lighter weight on the palm for folks that are using a pedal drive, maybe not paddling as often. And then we have another version called the castaway glove that will have a little bit more protection in those key wear areas where fishermen are going to be getting blisters.
Awesome. Well, man, guys, it looks like an awesome line. We appreciate your time today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam.
Robert, you did awesome as a mannequin. High five.
Good. I know it was good something.
Yes. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.